We probably looked like a crazy crew though, because we had, burps, but we had these family friends that would like make us hats. What are they? Yeah, so
fleece.
They were like made out of fleece, but they were like very obscure looking. But we all rocked them, and so I'm sure like anybody driving past our house would be like, ugh. Well, this is not Erin.
I am not Erin.
This is my mom. She's gonna come and be a guest host, our first one, guest host, co-host, if you will. Super excited, and we have a fun topic, I think, today. Something you may not know about me is that I am one of 7 kids, all made by her. But first, let's get into our beer. In honor of my mom visiting Wisconsin, we had to do some Spotted Cow New Glarus.
Like me some New Glarus.
She does.
I live in Illinois, and so a lot of times when I visit up here, I stop and get New Glarus on my way home.
She does. So I get it whenever I visit her, too. It's so exciting. Nice throw, Mom. All right. So, cheers. Cheers, everyone. Refreshing. All right. So, like I said, I am one of 7 kids. So we thought we'd do a little family background to start. Mom, do you want to get into like the age ranges of everybody?
Okay. Our oldest is 31 years old, and our youngest are a set of twins who are 20 years old this year. They were born in 2000, so it's always easy for me to remember.
Mm-hmm. Very easy.
And I always say that they were my last hurrah, the twins.
The last unexpected hurrah, if you will.
We have 5 kids that are very, very close in age, and then there's a little bit of a gap before the twins, and we always used to call them the big kids and the twins. And so, yeah.
Yep. And it's kind of funny too, because it's weird, like now that they're 20, they're like, like it's like they're not little kids anymore.
All of you guys' friends that watch them, you know, as babies, now will say to me, "Oh, I can't believe how old they are."
I know.
Oh my gosh, look at how big they are. And I'm like, yeah, I know, I birthed them.
Yeah. One of them is actually overseas right now for school. He's doing like a studying abroad.
Yes.
And so that's fun. We're actually, side note, our the second oldest son is actually going to go overseas and teach in like the next few weeks.
In South Korea.
Yes. So.
But John is in Germany.
Yes.
For school, for a semester for school. Not sure he was going to be able to go, but he got to go. And so I'm excited for him. And Nick is going to be heading back to South Korea. He already did 3 different years teaching
and so this will be the first time in like 31 years where Mom and Dad got the house to themselves. So it's pretty exciting.
It's true. Although our youngest 2 will come home for college, from college for the holidays.
Yeah.
And so we really won't have it by ourselves
it won't be
until
like
after they go back.
Nesters. Yeah.
Yeah. But that'll be different. It'll be quiet. My husband does work at home, and so he's around, but he's busy because he's working. And so, it will be different, and we're trying to think about how we're going to rearrange things, and I like to sew and quilt, and so I'm going to...
She's an excellent quilter.
I was thinking I need to like make a Adulting Midwest style quilt, and like you could have it there or something.
Yes, please.
But I'm going to devote a bedroom to my sewing machine and ironing board and stuff, so that'll be fun.
Yes. All right, so let's get into it. What was it like raising 7 kids?
Well, it starts out with one, like you have.
Yes.
And you think it's awesome, so you say, let's do it again, and give them a sibling. And as you add more and more kids, it gets a little more chaotic every time, and especially when you have more than 2 kids, because there's only 2 of you.
Right.
You're outnumbered. Then you're outnumbered. But our house was loud. Our house was crazy, chaotic. But y'all, did your thing. You had sports. You had games. You had clubs. You did things like that. And so it was. We just did it. We just did what we had to do and kept going.
Yeah. We did occupy ourselves pretty well. We did some classic capture the flag games with friends, which was always the best.
You guys had a great, when you big kids were growing up, our neighborhood was full of kids. And they were a little bit older than you, but there was enough kids that you guys had some great outside fun times.
Oh yeah, good times. And we, of course, I was thinking about this the other day, we would use and I'm sure other people did this too, where we'd use the old appliance boxes for houses.
Yeah.
We'd used to draw windows on them and everything, and do pretend. And the girls would teach in the basement because we had these random school desks that probably were in a school at some point in life.
The school district had a sale because they were getting new stuff, and so we got this. It's probably 7 feet long. It was
a big chalkboard.
4 feet, 5 feet high chalkboard for $1.
It was the bomb.
And why wouldn't you buy that? And yeah, you guys did play school a lot.
Oh my god! Well, yeah, we had the desk, we had the chalkboard. I mean, it was set up perfectly. But we did occupy ourselves.
You played outside a lot in the winter too. Did forts and things like that.
Totally.
Jumped in the leaves, but you did a lot of sports.
We probably looked like a crazy crew though, because we had burps, but we had these family friends that would make us hats. What are they? Yeah, so
fleece.
They were made out of fleece, but they were very obscure looking. But we all rocked them, and so I'm sure anybody driving past our house would be like, ugh.
Well, I remember one of the funniest things was because we had so many kids, they all had a bike, and occasionally we would take most of the stuff out of the garage because the leaves had blown in and things like that, and we needed something that was way in the back. And so we'd pull stuff out onto the garage, and people would stop and think we were having a garage sale. And we were like, no, it's not for sale.
No, drive on. But anyway, we did occupy ourselves pretty good, I'd say. It helps when you have 6 other siblings to play with.
That's right.
So, did you and Dad always want a bigger family?
Well,
okay. Mind you, bigger family, my opinion, 4 plus is what I would say.
Yeah. Well, Dad is the youngest of 6 kids.
Right.
And so he came from a bigger family. And being the youngest, he saw lots of nieces and nephews being born and enjoyed that. Excuse me. I was one of 4, but my mom was one of 8, and so I had lots of cousins, and we always had lots of kids, and I always wanted to be a teacher from early on, and so I always loved kids, babysitting and Sunday school and things like that, and so kids are important to us, family. So.
Yeah, but 7.
I don't think I don't think we went into it saying we're going to have 7 kids.
Fair.
I just think we kind of went into it and it didn't feel like enough, and so we had another, and it didn't feel right. Our family didn't feel finished, and then one more, and we got 2. The bonus.
Nailed it.
Yep.
John was the bonus. All right. What would you say was the hardest part aside from, like having 7 kids to take care of?
Well, when you have a kid, you want to be there for them and support them
Sure.
and encourage them in whatever they're doing. And as you get older, you get involved in other things outside the family. Because when you're probably -5 years old, you're just doing stuff, whatever the family tells you to do, and goes
Right.
with it. But when you get into school and there's, park district baseball and volleyball, soccer, whatever. And we wanted you guys to be able to participate in things and try different things because you don't know if you like it unless you try it. But having 5 kids very close in age meant that all of you guys were involved in things at the same time. And so we were getting people to practices and games and being there to support them. Thankfully, very thankful that my husband's job was one that he could maybe break away from the office a little earlier and go to a game and then maybe make up that time later in the evening or something. And so, because most of his stuff was on the computer. So probably juggling schedules. And then when the twins came along, they just came along for the ride.
Yeah.
I always say that they were kind of raised in the car because they weren't.
What 15-seater?
We did. We had a 15-passenger van. These big guys got to learn to drive.
Sure did.
Well, when we found out we were pregnant with twins, we had recently, before that, bought a new van.
Yes.
That sat 8. And because we had 7
So
in our
ugly.
family, and we thought one more. No, we had 7, and so we bought an 8-passenger because we thought, oh, it's a little room, extra room, and grab a friend or something. And then we went, found out we were pregnant, go there, and when the ultrasound technician said, I think I need to look again, and looked again, and the first thing Dad said was, we're going to need a new van. That was his first reaction. So we got a 15-passenger because the 11-passenger had 0 cargo space in the back. And so we got the 15-passenger and took out the back bench most of the time. So we still had 11 seats.
Right.
But we had a lot more room in the back for luggage and things. And it was a great van.
Yeah.
And when people would want to borrow it to haul stuff or something, occasionally, I would always tell them, just drive forward.
Yeah.
Don't drive in reverse, just drive forward. If that means you got to park at the end of a parking lot, then that's what you got to do. But you guys all learned to drive in it.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
It was great. We had fish on the back of it.
It was the Jesus van.
We had 2 big fish, the Christian symbol, and then 7 little fish. And people used to call it the Jesus bus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the bus. It was a good time.
It was.
Back seat was the best.
Yeah.
You were like way the heck back, way in the back. But yeah, I can imagine schedules being hard. Because, like, some of us were doing sports, other people were in musicals, while other people were, running cross country that took, like, hours upon hours to get through.
And then we had to change an occasional diaper.
Right, exactly. So I can imagine. Do you think your parenting style changed between, like, the big kids and the twins?
Yes, definitely. And I'm sure that the big kids would say that it did as well. I was probably always a little more strict as a parent because my philosophy was that I wanted to lay down a good base of obeying and following the rules and knowing right from wrong. And I thought if you guys had a strong base, then later on, when you were older and understood more things, you wouldn't veer from that a whole lot. And then I wouldn't have to be as strict because you would understand the parameters and things.
Sure.
And So certain things I thought were important. And then, we got 7 kids. And I thought, well, maybe that's not quite as important as I thought. Like, for example, this is a story that I always remember, that one of you girls, when you girls were little, 2 big boys, then 3 girls, and then the twins. I would make sure that they looked good before they went out. Hair combed, clean clothes, shoes on, whatever. And I would fight them to the death to make sure that their hair was combed and looking presentable and their face was clean. And then I can remember a story when the youngest daughter was about 2 or 3, and it was time to go. We gotta comb your hair. I didn't want to comb my hair. And I thought,
screw it.
Doesn't matter. It's not a big thing. But I would have fought to death to make sure you guys' hair was combed. So I think, realize I had to let some things go. That and, you're a little more tired as you get older.
Fair. I can attest to that. I mean, I feel like you were maybe a little more lax. Not in the important things. Like, you still laid that good foundation and everything, but yeah, there was definitely less things you were super
nitpicky
about.
Yeah.
I can attest to that for sure.
Yeah.
So what was it like though, taking care of 2 babies at once, 2 infants compared to 1 at a time, essentially?
It was tough. Thankfully, we had 5 older kids. That the youngest of you guys, I think, was 7 when the twins were born?
Yeah.
And so I was very thankful after the twins were born that I didn't have a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old that was more needy.
Potty training or
and
something.
I could throw a twin at one of you guys if I needed to do something quick, or if the other one needed something, held her breath and turned purple. I could throw a twin at one of you big guys and you could hold them. But the first 6 months is tough with twins. The first 6 months is really tough because they're so needy and they just cry. And they don't know anything else, and they don't understand. And so
times 2 then.
Yeah, right. And I was, had to feed them both, I had to diaper them both, and so the first 6 months was tricky. They were born in August, and so soon after they were born, you guys went back to school, which was good on one hand, because I didn't have all of you to take care of at the same time throughout the day, but I didn't also have
the
helpers.
Yes.
So 2 is definitely tricky. The first 6 months was really hard, but on the other hand, having twins was kind of cool because I don't think I knew anyone that had twins, friends.
Are boy-girl twins identical?
It was so funny. Our twins are boy-girl, and we always got that question. And they would look, and I would, my husband and I would be carrying the 2 little things.
Pink and blue, obvious gender.
Oh, twins! And we would say, yeah, what are their names? Jonathan, Abigail. Are they identical? And most of the time I was nice, but once in a while I would be like, let's think about this.
Let's think.
Yeah, that was a funny question people would ask us a lot.
A lot. I can't imagine, because, I just I'm raising Theo, and I could not imagine having the stress of raising another baby infant on top of that.
I couldn't imagine having twins as my first pregnancy, because
that'd be crazy.
I mean, there's so much you don't know that you learn from the first time around, that the second time around is so much easier. And even though kids are all different, but man, that would be tough having twins first.
Comment below if you've had twins first. I'd be curious to know and how it went. Because that, I can't even imagine.
Or having, what if because our first 2 are just 17 months apart. And if I had a 17-month-old and then twins,
Oh my God, yeah. Because, yeah, you're about to potty train one and take care of twin. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
a nightmare.
It would.
But, so now that we've kind of talked about, the 7 kids, how it was raising them, how it was raising.
Another thing, sorry to interrupt you. Another thing I have to say is that we were blessed with many good friends.
Yeah.
That were there and a family as well. Because like when you guys were into sports and things like that, we were able to carpool.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't always have to take all the kids with me when I had to take you to volleyball practice or something.
Right.
And so we had a lot of good friends that we were able to, that helped us, we helped them, and family and things like that. And that helped a lot.
Well, yeah, they also lived like a hop, skip, jump away too.
Yeah.
And they obviously had kids our age, so it was play dates galore on
Right.
top of the carpooling. So
Yeah.
it definitely was a good childhood.
And I think that was a tricky thing when you remember you asked me about what was hard with 7 kids. I think that was one of the harder things too, was because you guys had lots of siblings and always had someone that you could play with.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I didn't seek out play dates as much, especially when you guys were younger, because I was juggling 5 kids that were pretty close in age, and so it was like, well, you got people here, so I'll play with them. And so maybe I didn't do that as much when you guys were littler.
Yeah. I mean, though, we went to like a private school, and so you kind of, because it's such a smaller, I don't know, environment, you kind of latch on to like kids pretty easily. I don't know, you make friends pretty quickly, and then you're with them from like second grade, like first grade to like 8th grade in our school, and so like you know these people for like 8 years, and you're in their class like those 8 years, so you kind of create like really cool relationships. Mm-hmm. So we still got the socialization, and with private school we had a lot more options, I think, for like athletics and things like that.
Well, that's true, because everyone could make the team. They didn't cut anyone off of teams, and so you guys were able to. I think y'all did cross country in the fall, and then it was volleyball, and then it was basketball, and then in the spring there was track. Mm-hmm. And I think everyone did all of those things, and they were able to, and that was fun because there wasn't tryouts.
No.
And you could do it for sure, and you could be with your friends.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah.
So we still had that a little bit. I get what you mean by seeking it out, but it kind of just happened.
Yeah.
At the same time. But anyway, so now that we've talked about all of us, now that you guys, I mentioned this earlier, you're going to be somewhat maybe halvesies empty nesters.
Well, we have 7 kids, and 4 of them are married.
Yes.
We have 3 daughters married and 1 son married. 1 son got married this year during COVID. Mm-hmm. It was not the wedding he thought, but they got married, and that's all that matters. But we have 4 married kids, and we're going to be empty nesters soon. And now I'm a grandma.
Yes.
I'm Grandma Mimi. And
I am not the first person to give her that role.
Mm-hmm.
I am not.
I have 3 grandsons, and another baby's on the way. We don't know yet if it's a boy or a girl. Mm-hmm. But that's a wonderful thing for me, especially because I love kids. And so I get to travel to their houses and
obviously
do things with them. Like I'm here tonight so I can watch Theo in the morning and all day tomorrow because she's got a work thing all day. So I can come up and do that occasionally, and I go down and visit my other grandkids and see them for their birthdays, and I try to go down there once every couple months.
Yeah,
because it's 6 hours away, but that's a wonderful thing that I get to do now. And someone asked me the other day, what's one thing that you're gonna really that you're really looking forward to as an empty nester? And I think one thing, I'm not sure it's the biggest thing, but one thing I said was that just having even an adult kid living at home, knowing that there's no one else in the house but me and my husband that I have to think about in the back of my head all the time. Like, where is he? Is he coming for dinner? Is he leaving? Is he safe? Is she, okay? And I think it'll be nice not to have that. I mean, not that you
lingering.
I mean, I always think about you guys, and I always, you never stop worrying about your kids, but not having them not there, then a little more flexible.
Yeah. And you can go out at any time and not have to worry about anybody except Papa. That'd be fun.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool that you're retired now.
Well, I was a school teacher.
Yeah.
And I taught. Well, I taught school, and then we started having kids, and then I was a stay-at-home mom for a long time. I think all told it was like 18 years or something like that. Because we had the 5 kids, and then I went back to just helping out at school, like being an aide. Subbing and stuff. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to get to go back to teaching soon, and then we had the twins. And then I was a stay-at-home mom again, but then I taught again. And when our first grandson was born, he was going to be born in October, and they live 6 hours away from us, and I wanted to be able to help my daughter, and I wanted to be able to be part of his life because I thought he needed to know me. And so I decided to retire early from teaching, and so now I volunteer a lot.
Yeah.
With homeless and Meals on Wheels, and I come and help babysit.
And she quilts.
I do.
She's gonna get a quilting room soon.
I do.
Yes.
I've been sewing my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was a home ec teacher, so I learned early how to sew, but I've been quilting for about 6-7 years.
Yes. Yes. Very fun. But anyway, that's us. I mean, 7 kids. I guess we didn't really mention 2 of us are adopted. Me, myself, and my sister, who are biological, we got adopted like 6 months before the twins were born, so that's fun.
Yeah, we went from 3 to 5 to 7 kids in like 18 months. Yes.
On purpose. No.
It's right, it was on purpose. It was.
Yeah.
Yes.
But anyway, so that's a fun fact.
Yes.
But
people used to ask me, like, how do you do it? 7 kids. And I would always say, one day at a time.
Well, yeah.
And I would sometimes say, some days it's 1 hour at a time.
Makes sense.
Just have to go with it.
But
keep going.
Yeah. So that is my mom. She is coming to watch Theo tomorrow. And so I thought it'd be fun if we did an episode together about like raising 7 kids. Because some of that stuff I didn't even know. So that was fun for me. But I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Please subscribe. Please like this video. Give it a 5-star if you're one of our listeners on podcast platforms. But we hope you have a great rest of your week and you had a good Monday. And cheers, everyone.